have the session's moderator as Ruth Areli. This is Ruth Areli. We have a case study. Allow me to read it. The case study. Thank you. So, we have a young boy, JJ. John Jogani is a male child aged 14 years. He has been charged with the crime of robbery with violence after hitting another male child, Christian Maungi, male 16, on the arm and stealing an iPhone worth 30,000. During the children officer social inquiry, it was revealed that JJ had dropped out of school after KCPE due to lack of school fee. He began class 8 and after registering for KCPE exam, went to seek work to help support his family. He is the firstborn of 5 children and siblings. He found work washing dishes in a hotel, and the owner would send his mother 10,000 every month. He slept in a makeshift shack. When the exam week of KCPE approached, he left his job and went to school to sit for exam. After the exam, he returned to the hotel, but the job had been given to someone else. JJ did not want his siblings to drop out, and the mother was still expecting 10,000. So he ended up stealing because he had not been able to find alternative work, and he is remorseful and seeks help for himself. The victim, among 2 students at a private school, he says that he was treated at the hospital after the incident and has accepted the apology from JJ. Yes, so that is the case study. We have the justice system actors available. So I'll be the accused, I'll be JJ. My colleague here from Wakili Watoto Clubs, which is a club in all chapters of law schools in Kenya, will be the victim. So we have a police officer, we have the parent of the accused, we have the lawyer of the accused, we have the parent of the victim, we have our psychologists, we have the ODPP, and we have a children officer. I'm hoping you double up as a probation officer as well, when necessary. And finally, we have the presiding judge of the court, Honorable Kibosia. So, karibuni, kindly have your seats, and let us start. So, we are starting the court session. So good afternoon. I begin assuming my role just now, and you've already had the case. So for those of us who've not had a chance of being in court and seeing these things happening, you'll have the privilege of seeing how it happens. So here is the preliminary inquiry that we are talking about, and the preliminary inquiry has, according to the card, listed the people that are supposed to sit in there together with the child. And of course, we'll start with the child being apprehended, because before the child goes to the PI's court, we have a police officer. We have a police officer. Our police officer, let's see the child being apprehended. And of course, we had the concerns that were raised yesterday. As you go through, please be the model police officer and visit in the law. So let's see the child. Yes, you're still, yeah, okay. Where's our police officer? Yes. So kazi inaanza na police officer. Police officer arresting the child. Yeah, there you go. And that is our child, 14 years old. There it is. And once the child is apprehended,
what happens is that the child is kept in the CPU in that police station, and the child protection unit is our model child protection unit that ought to be. And from there, let's hear what follows.
Okay, after we've received the report, we summoned the parent to come with the child. Then we record the statement. We visit the scene, record the statement of the complainant. First of all, we record the statement of the complainant, who will give us information about now the suspect. From there we go, arrest the suspect and visit the scene. Then we do further investigation, compile the file, then we forward the file to the ODPP. At that time, the child will be held at the CPU office.
Okay, thank you. And the child has already been brought out of the CPU to the PI court. Let's now see what happens before the PI court.
Case number 1 of 2025, R versus JJ. Where is JJ? Okay, advocate.
Your Honor, my name is Mindia, I care for the subject.
Okay, for purposes of the record, who else is here?
Your Honor, Ms. Gaviri for the statement.
Who else?
Your Honor, with your permission, Ms. Narango, Children's Officer.
Naona mimi ni mzazi wa mtoto. That's the officer. Who else? We don't have the probation officer.
Your Honor, the probation officer is not present currently, but they have submitted their report, which is on file.
Okay. So let's make sure the child has a place to sit. I understand we also have the complaining child. Who is the complainant? Representative for, say you have the mother.
Yaani
Who
kuna
is present?
Yaona sasa niko hapa mama ya huyu mtoto mwenye nimedhulumiwa ulalamishi.
I understand you were supposed to have a psychologist report. Is it the same?
Present, Your Honor.
No. Now that we have an advocate present for the child, we also have all the other child justice practitioners present. We can have a look at the assessment report. Has it been filed?
Yes, Your Honor, there are two reports on file, one from the Children's Office and one from the probation office. If you would allow me to present our report. Your Honor, JJ is 14 years old. He dropped out of school after his KCPE. He had been unfortunately exposed to child labor due to the financial circumstances in his home. He has been out of school for approximately 8 months, working in a hotel where they were sending his mother 10,000 shillings every month for his work. He did, however, have to leave his job to sit for the KCPE exam, and at that time the job was given to somebody else. Your Honor, having no other means of providing for his family, as he comes from a single parent household, he resorted to stealing in order to prevent his siblings from dropping out of school. It is the recommendation of the children's officer that the court consider diversion in this instance to allow the family to receive psychosocial support. We have identified a health center in their vicinity that is able to provide psychosocial support. The sub-county children officer has also identified a community-based organization that is able to provide school supplies and meals every day for all the children. Thank you.
Okay, fine. ODPP, before we proceed.
maybe, because it's robbery that.
So you want to, maybe from the evidence you have, amend the charge sheet, Ms. Kimu, from your evidence, for purposes of the simulation?
Your Honor, the decision of charge, noting the circumstances that have been presented, we actually were of the opinion that this is a robbery violence. Because now I would not bring a matter for robbery violence if I had seen the evidence which lets me. However, let us say that this person on this floor, the phone, the iPhone 16, and no violence was used. So let us assume this is not a robbery with violence matter, but simple stealing.
The court has requested that we amend the charge sheet for purposes of the simulation.
Oh, the court is okay.
For purposes of the
For the
simulation.
purposes of the okay. Let's
Yes.
say now the matter that came as
It is
stealing.
now still
Okay.
for purposes of simulation.
Simulation.
Yes.
Okay, if it is stealing, Your Honor, then I think we've looked at the file, we've looked at the records. We have no objection to the matter being conducted.
Okay. The counsel for
We are praying that the court adopts the recommendations of the children officer and the probation, and also to take note that the child is still currently being detained by the CPU, and that in their best interest they should be released to the mother so that they are able to, of course, continue with education. That is one of the options that will be there. And also that they stay for cash because the mother has informed me that they don't have the money to raise any cash flow, and that, of course, with her job at the moment, she's not able to sustain the cash flow.
Okay, let's hear from the complainant or the representative. I can understand your mother is here. You want to go first? Your mother. Okay, proceed.
Naona nakumbuka hiyo siku kama jana. Nilikuwa nimetumwa na mama niende supermarket kubuy vitu. So nikirudi nyumbani nilikuwa natumia simu nikimpigia kumwambia nimebuy vitu. Nilikuwa hapo mtuabaika akaniambia msichana chunga, hii place si nzuri, simu itaenda. Lakini sasa mimi nikadhani tu anaongea. So nikaendelea tu kutembea. So nilikuwa tu hivyo, nilisikia tu, nilikuwa tu nimeshika tu simu naongea tu nayo nikasikia tu imeenda. And then kuangalia mtu amekimbia, watu wakaanza kupiga nduru, hata mimi nikaanza kulia. Nikimwambia nirudishie simu, sasa ni simu expensive, ni iPhone. Then sasa ndo nikatoka nyumbani, nikaelezea mama what happened, alafu tukaenda tu kwa station kureport. Juu iPhone inakwanga na hii kitu ya kutrack.
Na maoni ya mama?
Ya bwana, nimesikia prosecutor akiongea mambo ya diversion, hata sijajua hiyo ni nini. Wanataka kufanyia mtoto wangu, sielewi ni nini au wanataka kufanyia mtoto wangu. Naomba nielezee ni nini hiyo kwanza.
Just explain what
Diversion inamaanisha, na pole kukuongelesha mbeleni kwa sababu nilikuwa nafaa kukufahamisha. Diversion inamaanisha njia mbadala ya kudeal na huyu mtoto ambaye ako miaka 14, haendi shule. Tunaomba tu msamehe, alafu koti itaweza kutia we'll be able to assist you or assist him also in terms of rehabilitation, aweze kwenda shule, aweze pia kubadilisha nia zake, akuwe mtoto mzuri. So hiyo ndio diversion tunajaribu kumsaidia, lakini pia lazima tuwaombe kama community views zenu ambao ni ya diversion.
Sasa kwa hiyo diversion, simu ya mtoto wangu italipwa?
Simu ambayo iliibiwa, ilitrakiwa na iko hapa kotini, ni ambayo simu ambayo tutarudisha.
Okay. Sawa, tunaendelea. So views from the mother, do you think your child will benefit from this diversion?
Mheshimiwa, kwa jina naitwa Mama Nyagodie. Mimi ninaishi huku Koro. Sijui kama umewahi kuja huko. Kuna huyo ofisa anaitwa children officer. alikuja huko kwetu. Akikwambia ile maajabu aliona, utalia mheshimiwa. Mimi bwana yangu aliniacha nikiwa na watoto 5. Sisi tunalala chini, hatuna hata mattress, tunaenda bila chakula. Huyu mtoto wangu ndio mkubwa kwa nyumba yangu. Ndiye alikuwa anaenda kibarua. Kuna mahali mmeambiwa kwamba aliacha shule, si kupenda yake. Ama usijali juu ya Kiswahili yangu, unajua wamama wa mtaa. Sasa nilikuwa nimemlipia school fees. Mtoto akasoma, akaenda kufanya exam. Lakini sababu ya shida mingi, na kuna watoto wengine pia wanahitaji masomo, chakula na vitu zote. Unajua wazee wa siku hizi hawasaidia hata kwa mama. Sasa alijitolea akaenda akapata slay queen, akatusahau. Huyu mtoto wangu ndiye ananisaidia sana. Nimeshangaa sana kwamba mtoto wangu aliiba simu. Huyo mtoto si mwizi. Mimi tumeishi na yeye miaka yote tangu akuwe mtoto mchanga. Mimi nafikiria labda mtu mwingine aliiba wakamfananisha ni kama yeye. Lakini kama mtapata ni yeye alichukua, naomba tu msamee. Kuna kitu nilisikia juzi kinatembea kwa mtaa wetu. Tulikuwa tumefunzwa na wanasheria wengine. Inaitwa sijui rehabilitation, diversion na hiyo vitu vingine. Naomba tu msifunge mtoto wangu. Tutateseka sana. Na hata Biblia inasemanga, saidia maskini. Na ukisaidia maskini utabarikiwa. Hayo ndio niko nayo mheshimiwa. Huyu mtoto wangu naye nataka akuwe mkubwa vizuri, akuwe kama wewe. So unaona kama vile umevalia smart. Na yeye in future akuje kuwa kama wewe na mimi anisaidie. Ni hayo tu mheshimiwa.
Maoni yako? Bana wewe umeleta hapa kutini unasemaje?
Sasa Jajiko, ni ukweli niliiba. Lakini ni chaguo nilifanya kwa sababu nilipoteza ile kazi nilikuwa natumia kulisha familia yangu kubwa. Ni yetu na mama yangu sasa. Mimi nilikubwa. Sasa ilibidi tu kwa sababu hiyo siku niliona sina kitu ya kupeleka nyumbani. Ile kazi nilikuwa nategemea mtu mwingine ashanyakua. Nimebaki nifanye nini? Kwa hivyo niliona mtu hata aangalii vitu zake. Nikaamua hiyo ndio itanisaidia leo, lakini ilikuwa makosa. Mimi sijui hata nilijipata hapa aje. Nimekuwa kwa polisi, lakini naomba msamaha.
Na unamwambia je yule mwenye ulimjuzia?
Samahani, lakini naomba unisamehe. Sikuwa na pesa hiyo siku ya kupeleka nyumbani, hatuna chakula, umesikia mama yangu. Hatuna kitu. Kabisa hatuna. Na hatuna mbele wala nyuma.
Okay. Nipatie muda kidogo niweze kutoa uamuzi.
Before you make the decision,
Yes.
also wanted to say that care protection is
Yes, it's going to be part of the
Lakini waona hata mimi kama mzazi wa huyo mtoto niko na swali.
uliza.
Waona sasa hata kama tunasema wanaomba msamaha, si huyu mama pia aende afanye kibarua kama mimi. Hata kama mtoto wangu ako na simu, hata mimi ni single mother watoto 7. Mzaa wangu pia alienda. So na mimi ninafanya bidii, ninafanya majukumu yangu kama mzazi, watoto wangu wako shule. Sasa kwa sababu mimi nitamsamehea, si kama huyu mama hata afanya majukumu yake, mtoto aache kufanya majukumu yake, si kesho ataibia mtu mwingine, hata mimi nikimsamehea leo. Kwa hivyo huyu mama pia achangamke, aache kukaa tu hapo kwa mtaa akipiga story watoto wake wakijigula wakiombaomba. Afanye bidii kama wamama wengine vile tunafanya. Kwa sababu hata ukiangalia yeye hata ana uwezo wa kukuwa na wakili na sisi hatuna.
Ningetaka kukuambia kwamba wakili ana serikali inapeana wakili. Si ati amelipa wako na pesa ya kulipa. Kila mtoto ambaye anakuja kutina na wakili. Na kulingana na ripoti ya children officer wamesema wanataka kumpeleka aende shuleni. Nakumbuka alikuwa amedrop shuleni. So nimeangalia hizi reports anaona ni kama ameshapata shule, amepata mtu wa kumpeleka shule, aweze kuendelea kusoma atoke kwa street. Lakini kabla sijatoa uamuzi, ningetaka achukue hiyo simu ambayo alichukua kutoka kwa mtoto wake, amletee hapo na amwambie msamaha mbele yetu, na pia aweze kutuambia kwamba ako tayari kurudi shule kabla sijatoa uamuzi wangu wa mwisho. Ni sawa? Ndio hii simu, where is the phone?
Pole sana na sitarudia tena.
Haujasema vizuri. Akai serious mheshimiwa. Akai serious.
Aki pole mama. Sitarudia tena. Poleni sana.
Usidie mtu mwingine.
Unasemaje? Unakubali hiyo msamaha?
Nasema kosa si kosa, kosa ni kurudia. Na kama mama amesema ni sawa, lakini usirudie tena. Juu uliniumiza hata niko na trauma ya kushika simu.
Tuangalilie kama simu yako iko sawa, kila kitu iko kwa hiyo simu. And where is the psychologist? Because you need to do trauma assessment for the victim as well, so that we also get a report on that. I know you have filed a report, because I haven't seen it in the file.
Yes,
It's in the file.
Yes, but maybe I can just give a brief of it.
Okay.
Yes, the information. So I'm Dr. Anne Hemo. I'm the psychologist for children. So I did have 2 or 3 sessions with JJ, and he expressed his clear remorse and regret for the offense, his evidence of developing empathy and understanding the consequences. There are no signs of any underlying mental illness or conduct disorder, and the behavior appears to be situational, like we have had, than indicative of a persistent pattern. The child has expressed willingness to engage in rehabilitation and make amends for his behavior. Thank you, Your Honor.
The victim said she could traumatize when she was taken to the police station. She was also taken for assessment on the protection and care had been for 10 days before the system.
Okay. Is it possible to have the PMC files combined into one so that we're able to track?
Yes.
Okay. So we can close the other one and make this one the main PMC file? Yeah, for both children, because eventually I think we are doing 3rd level diversion, because there is an element of schooling, so I'm thinking the 3rd level diversion for the assessment of the case. So before we proceed to the 3rd level diversion, yes?
Yona, sorry, with your permission, we would request that the protection and care files remain separate.
Okay.
The children live in different places and do not attend the same schools.
Okay.
It might be difficult for them to attend court on similar days.
Okay.
We therefore pray that the protection and care files number 2 of 2025 and number 3 of 2025 remain separate.
As prayed.
Thank you.
Now, what will happen is I want you to conduct a family group discussion after this, have a conference, and then I can get the outcome after 14 days. Where is the children officer?
Present.
Kindly conduct an FGD and then file a report in court.
Noted.
Then from that report, then I'm able to issue the final orders. But for now, as you do the FGD, let's consider the 3rd level diversion. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Detection. Oh, in the CPU. I thought by now we are diverting, so automatically the child, yes, goes back to the mother, I'm handing over to the mother. Once I get a report on the school, because I haven't seen the report on which school, what level of schooling, so let me retreat to chambers, look at the report that has given the final decision of how they will go to school, and the reports to be filed in court. But first, conduct the family discussion. Then once you file the report, I'll consider the particular report. In the meantime, the mother can go with the child, then I'll come back after 5 minutes with a proper decision. Is that okay? Yes. Anything else? Any other issue?
Sasa mnasema nini hiyo yote mnaongea?
Wakili wako atakuongelesha baada ya hii, kwa sababu niko na kesi ingine tena inakuja, so lazima nitoke hapa niende ile koti ingine nifanye kesi, lakini wakili atakaa na wewe na mama atakuelezea vile tunasema. Ni sawa? Una swali lolote ama kitu unataka kuambia koti kabla sijaondoka? Hakuna? Sawa sawa. Okay.
Thank you very much, but we a scene of the family group conference, which has been ordered by the court. And the parties of the family group conference is
Can I just ask a quick question?
Yes, so I'm inviting you to scene 2, and in scene 2 we are looking at, as ordered by the court, the family group conference. So the children officer was directed to convene, and she has contacted the people that are necessary to be present in that discussion, and there we go. So now they'll be discussing issues of reparation, apologies, restitution, whatever it is, and the report will be taken to court. So, scene 2 here, please may we have your attention. This is that scene. Before we go back to the court with the report, the children officer will take the report.
Sorry, after scene 2 is when you ask questions?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. After? Oh.
So nimeshukuru kila mtu kukuja. Naomba kuzungumza kwa Kiswahili ili tuelewane. Tuko sawa? So mimi naitwa Nyaranja. Mimi ni afisa wa watoto. Kazi ya afisa wa watoto ni kuchunga haki ya watoto wote ambao wako hapa Kenya. Na kwa leo tuko na watoto wawili, Christian na mwenzetu JJ. Kuna kosa ambalo lilifanyika na tumekubaliana kuwa tunataka kupata vile tunaweza kusaidiana. Tusaidie JJ, tusaidie Christian ili tuendelee kuishi pamoja kwa amani. So ningeomba kwanza tuzungumze na JJ. Atuambie yani vile ambavyo tumefika hapa unahisi aje? Kuna jambo ambalo ungependa kuambia mwenzako ama mtu yeyote hapa?
Mimi nina swali. Kuna vile polisi alininyanyua sana, niliumia, kunipeleka kwenye sel. Na sijui kama ninafaa kuongea hapa juu wenzangu walisema alikuwa na trauma. Nini naona pia trauma ina apply pale yangu. Vile unaona.
Sawa, nimekusikia, lakini nataka kuuliza kama huyu madamu umewahi kumuona awali? Kabla ya leo umewahi kumuona?
Nimemuona.
Umemuona? Yeye ndio kazi yake yani ni kukusaidia kuzungumza na wewe. Kukusaidia kama uko na hizo matatizo zozote ambazo ulikuwa nazo labda na polisi, matatizo ambazo ulikuwa nazo shuleni, hata kama ni matatizo ambazo uko nazo nyumbani na mama na wenzako, atakusaidia, atazungumza na wewe, atafute vile atakusaidia. Lakini kama kuna jambo lolote ambalo kinakusumbua, hilo jambo la polisi kwa leo ndio nimesikia mara ya kwanza. Labda nitazungumza na wakili wako, alafu tutaona vile tutafuatilia hilo jambo la polisi.
Ofisa nimeongea. Kwa vile mimi ni mzazi wa huyu mtoto. Wakati polisi walimshika, walimrap, yani hawakuona kama ni mwanamke ama msichana. Walimshika, wakamweka pingu, wakamuita mwizi, kila mtu akamuona. Na sasa siku hizi mtoto hata halali, anashinda tu akiota polisi. Sijui vile tutasaidiana hapa. Na hii haki nasikia ya watoto, kinakuanga wapi? Polisi hata hawakuona kama ni mtoto mdogo, walimshika kila mahali. Hata kuna uchungu kila mahali. Naomba tu mnisaidie mtoto wangu apone, hiyo stress yenye ako nayo ishe, na ni vizuri muongelesha polisi. Wajue vile wana handle watoto.
Pale mama na pale mtoto, tutachukua hiyo jukumu, tuulize kina kitengo cha polisi independent ambacho kinachunguza polisi na conduct ya polisi, na tutaweza will be able to write and direct them to conduct investigations on the way the child was handled, whether he or she was beaten and all these things, so that they get to know that it is wrong. So we will do it.
Lakini madam ofisa, huyu mama acha kuongea sana vile mtoto wake alishikwa kwa nguvu, kwa sababu mwizi kwani anashikangwa polepole. Analea mtoto kukua mwizi, anamwachilia aende akahaso huko awaibia, alafu anasema ashikwe polepole. Na yeye alipovunja mtoto wangu shingo akikunyang'anya simu. Huyu mama hafai kuwa anaongea sana, anafaa nyenyekee. Kwa sababu mimi nikitaka hii kesi iende mbele, itaenda mbele, huyo mtoto wake afungwe, apate adabu.
Sasa mimi niko na malalamishi. Naona ni kama hii process yote inamlinda kuniliko. Mimi ndo victim, lakini sisikii mkiniongelea na inaniuma sana.
Nilikuwa nataka kusema kuhusu madam, kuhusu hiyo alinyanyuliwa. We have a medical report ambayo tutapatia prosecutor ndio waweze kufuatilia. Na pia nilikuwa nimeongea na mama, na labda unaweza niende kama, na pia nimefurahi psychologist hapa, tuone kama kuhama ni an option kwa my client, because umesikia bado despite the interview you had, bado anakofia kuna hiyo trauma. So in line with that, nilikuwa ninataka kuomba hayo, but maybe ninaweza kupata so address malalamishi ya the complainant.
Asante, nashukuru. Christian, naomba msamaha, tulianza na JJ, but pia kwako tulikuwa tunakuja. Ni vile JJ amekaa kando yangu, so nimeanza na yeye. Kwa mfano ameomba msamaha, amesema yaliyotendeka. Unakumbuka juzi ambapo tulikuwa kotini, alikurudishia simu yako kwa mkono akaomba msamaha. Lakini kwa sababu tumeshazungumza na yeye, nitaomba wewe pia utuambie unaendelea aje. Umezungumza na huyu madam ambaye amesema yeye ni daktari wa watoto, amezungumza na wewe mwenyewe unaendelea aje?
Nilizungumza na yeye, lakini tulirudi hizo siku mbili zimepita. Nime-relieve what happened. Tuliongea na madam, alinisaidia like hiyo trauma yangu kujua simu na hizo vitu zote, lakini kukaa tena kurudia what happened like inani-traumatize when nilikuwa. Sasa ningetaka tuongee tena, na pia sijafurahi pia juu inakaa ni kama tu ni yeye tu, like kila process yote ni yeye tu. What about me? You know, I was a victim. Who cares about me? As long as yeye amesaidiwa, amerudi kwa society, that what happens to me.
Sawa, nimefurahi kwa umezungumza na umetueleza shida ambazo umekuwa nazo kwa sasa. Kuzungumza na huyu Madam Ann si kwa mara moja peke yake. Labda maybe mama hakuelezwa vizuri, ama mama labda ameelezwa na baada hajakwambia. Utakuwa unamuona every 2 weeks. Wiki mbili zikipita, utakuwa unaenda unazungumza na Madam Ann na ataendelea kukusaidia kwa muda. Pia tumezungumza na koti ambayo imepatia kitu ambayo inaitwa court order. Kwenye hiyo court order wamesema kuwa Madam Ann aendelee kukusaidia, na ambapo atamaliza muda wa miezi 6, kama bado unahitaji usaidizi, then tutarudi kotini na uendelee. Because usaidizi lazima tusaidiane ili tupate, kama kila mtu amepata na hakuna kila mtu amepata usaidizi. So hiyo lazima tuendelee nayo. Na issue nyingine ambayo ningependa tuzungumzie ni I think mama yako pia amezungumzia, na nataka sisi sote tukubaliane, because mama JJ kosa lilianza nyumbani kwako. JJ anafaa kuwa shuleni, JJ hafai kuwa anafanya kazi, na mimi tumezungumza na polisi, tumezungumza na la kwanza, unajua kwa JJ kwa kazini ni kosa.
Kweli ofisa.
Unajua ni kosa. Na ule mtu ambaye alimwandika kazi anajua alifanya kosa.
Kama ndio.
Na kwa huo muda wa miezi 6 ulikuwa umemuona JJ ama ulikuwa unapata pesa?
Mimi nakaa huko Corona, yeye anakaa mahali inaitwa Westland. Sasa alikuwa ananitumia hiyo pesa kwa simu ya mbosi yake, hata ana simu.
So kwa hiyo miezi 6 hukuwahi kumuona?
Sikuwahi muona, nilikuja kukutana na yeye wakati ameshikwa.
Na sasa hapo kosa unaona kama ni gani?
Ofisa, mimi Pia mama ya mlalamisha amesema kwamba mimi nakaa kwa kijiji nikipiga mshene, si hivyo. Juzi nimeenda kwa gavana. After kuona kwamba mtoto wangu anateseka nikapewa 500. Sasa hivi niko na kipanda nimetengeneza hapo Westlands, nikipita naweza kuja kununua nyanya. Ndio hata mimi mnipromote. Na ninaomba msamehe mtoto wangu arudi shule na kuje kukua kama nyinyi wenye mmesoma. Sasa nyinyi mko smart mnaongea kizungu sanifu. Mnataka mtoto wangu akue hivyo. Na kwa mlalamishi nasema mtusamee. Ni umaskini ilifanya mtoto wangu kama aliiba, sijasema aliiba. Kama aliiba, naomba tu msamee kabisa. Ni umaskini ilifanya
Aliiba, si kama aliiba. Madam Otisa muelezea kuwa aliiba. Na akiendelea hivyo tutamsamehe.
Madam, unakumbuka tukiwa kotini juzi, JJ aliulizwa na akakubali mbele ya koti na mbele ya kila mtu ambaye yuko hapa kuwa ni ukweli aliiba, na ni vile ambavyo mambo yalikuwa yanaelekea nyumbani ndio ikamfanya akaenda akaiba. So hatuzungumzi whether aliiba ama hakuiba. Tumekubaliana aliiba. JJ mwenyewe amekubali aliiba. Na akarudisha. JJ alikubali ameiba na akarudisha ile simu ambayo alikuwa ameiba mbele ya koti na mbele ya kila mtu ambaye alikuwa pale. Na hatuwezi kuwa tunarudi nyuma, hatutakuwa tunamsaidia tukitaka tena kukataa mambo ambayo tushakubali mbele ya koti. So ni ukweli. Cha ukweli ameiba. Kosa ambalo lilifanyika lilikuwa kwako. Tulipozungumza nilikuja kwako nyumbani. Niliona vile ambavyo mnaishi kwa kweli si rahisi. Watoto pia ni wengi. Lakini unaona mama Christian ambaye pia mwenyewe ni mama ambaye ako peke yake nyumbani. Mama Christian ako na watoto 7. Wote wako shuleni. Kwa sababu mama Christian amejaribu kadri ya uwezo wake. Na wewe pia mama tunataka kujaribu. Tumezungumza na wale watu wa institution inaitwa Pendekezo. Tumezungumza na wale watu wa institution inaitwa Pendekezo letu ambao tulikutana nao pamoja jana. Na wakasema wataendelea kusaidia watoto wako wote waingie shuleni na wakae shuleni. Lakini hawezi kaa shuleni na njaa, hawezi kaa shuleni kama hamna pali wanaishi. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni jukumu lako. Na utakubali leo mbele ya kila mtu kwa utachukua hilo jukumu na uendelee nalo, kwa sababu hatuwezi kuwa tunazungumza na unarudi tena nyuma ukasirishe watu kusema tena jambo halikufanyika. Kwa hivyo kama ni jukumu ambalo unakubali leo, utaendelea nalo au la?
Ofisa, naomba msamehe kama niliongea vibaya. Ni kweli tulikuwa tumeelewana na mtoto akasema aliiba. Wacha nikubali, lakini pia Mungu anasema hata mtu akifanya kitendo namsamehe. Na vile mmesema asante sana kwa kupeleka mtoto wangu shule. Na vile nilikueleza kama nalinipatia 500. Nimeanza kioski. Sasa ukikuja next time lakini nitakuwa kwa hiyo kioski bali pia unaweza leta hiyo pendekezo lenu. Mniletee sukari na vitu zingine ndio familia yangu iendelee. Otherwise nimekubali makosa ya mtoto yangu na nimebeba kama mzazi. Na nita make sure kwamba mtoto wangu ameenda shule, amesoma vizuri na amepata kazi. Nitatusaidie sisi wote na yeye atusaidie. Asante na Mungu akubariki kwa kazi nzuri unafanya.
Haya, kwa hayo mengi, naomba kwanza Christian kama uko na lolote ambalo ungetaka kuongeza? Mama Christian, lolote ambalo ungetaka kuongeza?
Hakuna kitu ya kuongeza.
Na
tumekubaliana na mtoto wangu kuwa tumesamehea huyu kijana, kwa sababu ukiangalia vizuri huyu kijana hata si shida sana, si yeye. Nafikiria hata ni tabia za mama zinafaa kurekebishwa kwanza, kwa sababu yeye ndio shida. Kijana mwenyewe ni shida imemsukuma kufanya hivyo kwa sababu amepewa majukumu si yake. Kwa hivyo tumesamehe huyu kijana apate kazi, ikiwezekana huyu mama pia mumsaidie apate kazi na kurekebisha tabia kidogo, kwa sababu ni ile tu huruma ya mtoto ndio imefanya nimsamehe.
Asante mama, tunashukuru. Jeje, una lolote la kuongeza?
Mimi nashukuru tu msamehe.
Kwa hivyo kila mtu ataendelea kuona Madam Ann. Wiki 2 zikipita mtakuwa mnazungumza na yeye. Mkipata shida lolote, kila mtu ako na namba yangu ya simu, mnaweza nipigia. Watoto tupatie Madam Ann nafasi ya kuongelea.
Thank you very much to Masikiliza, and it is good to hear that you have forgiven him for the mistake he did or for the offense committed. So mine is just request that when we have an appointment, you make sure sure you come for the appointment. And if you can't come, let me know through your parents so that we're able to go through this process together. It's not a journey of one day. We have to have several sessions. So I kindly request that we adhere to that. And I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Haya, asanteni, tunaweza kwenda.
It's not yet over, but inaendelea. Remember, they were supposed to go back to the magistrate. So that has not happened. And the order, first of all, that order which the magistrate went to write needs to be delivered. Then after that, the reports of their discussions. So let's have the magistrate.
So there's a step we skipped. When I retreated to chambers, these were the orders that gave rise to the conference. So I said, let's assume I went back. PMC file to be open for both children. That is what she had suggested, you remember? So both children will have PMC files running. The subject is diverted under level 3 and released to the mother present in court. The mother to fill the contract form before release. JJ to attend XX school. The court should not reveal the name of the school for privacy sake. So JJ to attend XX school at the earliest instance, that is Monday. And a report filed in court after interpretation. Both children are placed under court-mandated therapy. Parties to hold a family group conference within 15 days. So they decided to hold the same day. So now we finish the conference, and now I'm reconvening now to get the outcome of the conference. Because the court does not participate in the conference.
Now we have the court participants return to the court for the report. Remember, within the family group discussion, there is a plan that is developed with objectives, with everything that they've agreed upon, and they need to report back to the court. So that is the scene.
Yeah, someone is holding like in court.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, she has arrived.
You're doing another PI.
Okay.
PNC file number 202 of 2025.
You name the matter, I'm here for the subject.
Please use the mic.
Mungia for the subject.
Who else is present?
Your Honor, Ms. Nyamanga Odundo, Children's Officer. We are also present with the subject in 202 of 2025. JJ, who is present in court with his man.
This is a PNC. The follow-up.
Fiona, I'm Fiona, psychologist.
Yona mama Nyagodie.
So do you have a report from the family group conference?
Your Honor,
Miss
there are two
Nyamanga.
more people present in court. Please
Yes.
allow them to introduce themselves.
Who else is present? Sorry, I didn't see that.
Fiona Christian.
Your
Na
Honor,
mimi mama Christina ambaye aliibiwa.
huyu kijana.
Your Honor, yes, we do have the results of the family group conference. The report is in the file. The report is on record. The result of the family group conference is that JJ has been enrolled in school, as have all of his siblings, aged between 3 and 10. They are all in school, and we have found an organization that will support them through the completion of their school. JJ's mother is also currently engaged in an economic activity. She is selling fruits and vegetables individually and with their families as well. The psychologist, Dr. Anne Diongo, is present in court and will be able to present her report. But the results of the family group conference have been positive, and JJ has been following through with all the conditions of diversion.
That's fine. So maybe we can look at the report later. So when is he attending school again?
Your Honor, he attends school every day, Monday through Friday. It is a day school. It's a public school within his area.
Okay.
School is on until midterm,
Okay.
which will be July the 6th.
Okay. So instead of interrupting the midterm, can we maybe just have a follow-up mention when they close school in August, maybe after 3 months, so that we see how they're faring on?
Yes,
Or
Your
when do
Honor,
you suggest we mention?
that's acceptable. I would request the 15th of August
Okay.
as schools to be closed.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Your Honor, sorry, finally, I would also request, if possible, to have a virtual mention.
Okay.
Christian is participating in a tennis tournament and will not be in Nairobi at that level.
Okay. The matter will be heard virtually on 15th of August.
That's okay. Wasn't it awesome? Yes. Did you learn a thing or two? Yes. Did you appreciate the important role the children officer plays in the entire process? Are we together? I hope it was not just for the sake of acting, it was for the sake of us learning. We were talking about different roles yesterday. All the things that we discussed yesterday, have you been able to single them out from our brief presentation? Yes, I hope so. So I want to thank the participants. They all had introduced themselves. So that's, in a nutshell, what happens for those that have not had an opportunity to experience how these things happen in the courts and outside there, and the protections thereof. So at this point in time, I'll invite reactions, and I'll see the first hand to, how much time do we have? 8 minutes to 1. I need to be guided so that we know how many questions to take. Yes, Effie? What time are we finishing?
We need to finish at 1.
We have 8 minutes, so I think we can do 3. Any other? 2. Okay.
Okay, I'll start my question to Linda. When there was the simulation, and then she said that you did not divert on robbery violence cases. And I was wondering what happens with Masla system. Are the systems different when you apply Masla on murder cases and on children matters? Yeah.
I think we can respond to them one by one. There are not many.
The Children's Act is clear that diversion is not acceptable in capital offences, so it's the Act that helps in this particular instance. Plus, there are other ways of dealing with robbery violence cases, including through plea bargaining, which is something that we talked about yesterday. So we can't plea bargain on that particular issue from murder to manslaughter. But in this particular case, I think we're guided by the Act, which I think is what is taking us here in this case.
Thank you very much. The second question? Oh, something else?
There's that decision.
Yeah, before you judge. Let's allow me the robbery judge. Yeah, the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah, let's leave that.
yes, the Masla case, I think there's a decision in which the Masla, and I think it's a decision that happened during it's called DPP Nurdin Haji's time. But in this particular instance, we need also to note that the ODPP withdrew this particular charge for the Masla system to continue because they were doing the murder, but the community wanted this person to go through an alternative system. accepted. However, the vote withdrew. So it wasn't something, it was something that we considered in this particular instance.
Thank you very much. We had forgotten that bit. Judge, so, I just had a question.
Thank you very much. I have a question about the capital offense thing. And the question I really wanted, because I've seen that in the act, but what makes an offense a capital offense? What is it that makes it a capital offense? Is it the sentence that you get? Lawyers in the house, I'm asking a question.
Yeah, please, let's have someone.
Is it the sentence? It makes it a capital offense because at the end of the day, you are sentenced to death. My understanding. But the law tells us no child will be convicted or even sentenced. That is the law. So at what point does the capital offense apply for child? So for me, that is something, and you see we are being encouraged to interpret the law in favor of the child, not against. So my question is, while I accept that children commit very serious offenses, they do, they are doing it every day. We need to come together and find a way of finding ways of rehabilitating those children who commit those, the robberies, the murders, the heinous things, that we come up with a system. We ask this, the people who do these things to give us a system where these children, I mean, we are the ones that we have proposed, where the child who commits a serious offense does not get into the adult system, but it continues into a youthful something, which continues to rehabilitate them. When they grow up from being a child and we still need more rehabilitation, we don't get them into the adult system. We create a system for them that will make them understand they did something wrong and they have to be punished for it in a manner that befits them and also get rehabilitated. So for me, I have to ask that question of capital offense, we get to understand it, because my understanding is that it is not applied to a child because they never get convicted or never get sentenced. In fact, the law says that no child can be sentenced to death. That's just my thought. Thank you.
So I just wanted to say also section 4, just tying what the judge is saying, and maybe can give a bit of guidance on the issue. Section 4 actually is very implicit that in the event that there's any conflict of any other law with the Children Act, then the Children Act should take precedence. So I think that can be guidance.
Okay. Before we move to the next question, we are all challenged, and it's called thinking out of the box, not reading the law the way you are taught. So this is very important on the same.
We have what we call orders upon a finding of guilt. And some of these orders also include diversion, include postal institution. Because we've had instances and even offenses committed by children that I would say are very heinous. Like a child dividing another child, and you find the other child has to undergo surgery. So I think maybe we should, or maybe judge, maybe I can get to that. Would the system till an order of finding of guilt not be proper for such a child? Because I think
Sorry, I was reading something where I understand.
I'm saying there are instances where children commit very heinous crimes.
Yes.
Even this robbery is violent sometimes in some aspects. So I don't know, I'm trying to understand when we talk about the adult system, is it trial? Because we also have orders upon a finding of guilt, which can also include an order for diversion, which can also include an order for even a postal institution, probably if they offer proper services, or even the rehabilitation by DCS. So maybe just contextualize it in terms of
very much. And I think ODPP in your eligibility criteria for offences that are eligible for diversion, I think you need to rework so that it doesn't come out as a capital offence, the way it has been explained to us. A capital offence. Or is it something for the rules?
There are. It's not in our rules, in our documents. It's actually in the act as one of the considerations that it should also not apply to a capital offense. So it's not something that
Okay. Okay, so where are we at? Where are we at as far as that is concerned?
So the judge has said, in interpreting a capital offense, it's at the sentence. And when we are looking at it,
But the Act
yes,
has it.
Yes,
The Act has it, but what she has said is, as we contextualize that provision of the Act, we need to look at it interpretively with other provisions, in the sense that the same Act says that children cannot be convicted to death, and that has been the position. For even
Conviction
before the
generally,
Act, yeah,
children cannot be convicted.
to death.
So I
So,
think,
especially now, even that one up to death. And when you talk about capital offense, you say that the punishment is by death. So what she's saying is, as you look at the offenses, then you need to look at them in the context of the children, because children cannot be sentenced to death.
and we can single out that for amendments,
yeah.
for the areas, the provisions that really need to be reworked. And thank you, Judge, for bringing that up. It really was not in the mind of most of us, and it jogged our mind. So you are all the same?
No.
Okay, generally. So we are moving to the next observation.
So for me, I like the way diversion comes in as a form of restorative justice, that we are looking at forgiveness, we address the needs of the victim, but there's, in this scenario one, I didn't see the iPhone restored somewhere. So what happens in the situation that perhaps the accused person sold the iPhone, is no longer there, he does not have money to pay back the iPhone, but we also don't want to economically disempower the girl, because she also needs a phone to communicate. So where's the balance, the cost of crime really vis-a-vis the restorative purpose of the diversion program, so that it goes beyond restoring and healing and creative solutions, but also looking at perhaps the restoration of what it has been lost to the extent that is possible. So where's the iPhone story? That's my question.
Okay. Nyaranga wants to respond to that.
So we have had instances like that where whatever was taken is no longer available to be replaced. And in instances, especially with family group conferences, with those different with the different people in the room, sometimes, like for example, the mother Christian, who was the one who lost the phone, right? And the phone is no longer there to be returned. Sometimes they accept to come up with like a payment plan for that phone. Maybe the phone cost is 30,000 shillings, you don't have 30,000 shillings today. But on such and such a date of every month, you will be sending her 1,000 or 5,000 or whatever amount that they agree upon together. Sometimes, even when an instance like a child has broken something belonging to someone else, right? Maybe it's the windscreen of a car, and his family is not able to come up with the money for that windscreen. Sometimes it includes something like community service, where every Saturday for 1 hour you will wash this car. For the next 3 months, every single Saturday you will go and wash this car. So sometimes the justice, the restoration might not be, the actual thing, or of course a car wash, I don't know, is 200, 500, I don't have a car. But that 3 months might not reach the 30,000 that you used to replace your windscreen. But at least the child is able to understand that what they did was wrong, they're able to make preparations for what they did, and the person who was affected by what they did also feels that the child has somewhat paid back what they did.
Thank you, Lisa. I think we're also looking at a scenario in which
are not just theft offenses. It's not a windscreen that is being stolen. Those are not even cases that we are not even getting at ODP. With stealing, we actually get maybe a repeated stealing, or stealing something like 200,000, something of the sort. So I think for us, it's about also now giving position in terms of these very serious offenses that are not, okay, yes, we've said they are not actual offenses, but now, how are we going to even justify it to the community in terms of this is someone who has murdered another child, this is someone who has raped another child, or defied another child, there's a problem, even with that victim. What are we telling these victims? So I think that's the question that I want to answer.
Thank you so much. It's a whole question of restorative justice, and somebody has died in the process. How do we recover the life? No, different. Please, let's just deal with this one first, then we can come to that other one. You have a mic.
Okay. And I just want to attempt. I really don't know. But I think the notion that a child does not commit an offense is wrong. Right? So we start from there. That, as Linda is saying, that we cannot, cover a sin. We can't say that the child did not commit the offense in the first place. We must admit, and actually even we have a lot of guidance, both in Africa and everywhere else, that even though we say that a child's criminal responsibility starts at 12 or 14, that we have to discuss measures that we can take for children even below that age, because things happen. So the first thing is that we're not assuming that they're not committing an offense. The second thing, therefore, having established that yes, it's true, children do commit offenses and they can commit serious offenses, the second point is to balance these two things. The rights of the child to be protected, all children, so even children who are even the victims, and the community or the society or the purpose of the criminal justice system, which is really to ensure law and order. And number three, then now to balance that with the idea of justice. And that, I think, is the call that Judge is saying all of us will need to make today. How do we balance protecting children, having understood that the children do not understand cause and consequence, and there is evidence, a lot of overwhelming evidence to that. Number two, understanding that we need to restore law and order in the society. And number three, ensure that restoration is done, and especially restorative justice for the victims. And that is our work today. As lawyers, as counselors, as magistrates, all of us who sit as a community, I think that is the thing that we need to say. So, this is why rehabilitation and reintegration should be the essence of the justice system. Because once you rehabilitate the child, you are able to reintegrate them back to the society. Otherwise, what we are doing, we are just, we're doing what we do with adults. We arrest, we charge, they steal, they stay in prison, they leave, they go back and steal. And so, but with children, we acknowledge that we want them to be sitting here today, in another time, making these decisions, as magistrates, as lawyers, as doctors, as whoever. So we have a huge task outside our workstations. How do we balance those three issues? The concept of restoration, the concept of protection, and the concept of law and order. That is the work that we have to do. And so that is why I'm saying that I'm not assuming, by the way, that the child has not committed an offense. I am saying the child has committed an offense, but how do we rehabilitate them and then reintegrate them? Because they cannot spend all their life in the justice system. We will be losing even the economic value of a person. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And these conversations will continue. We are sorry that we are short of time. I have been told to wind up. Ani ni tofauti. Nataka tupigie kwanza, Ani will have a meeting.
work in terms of placing the child under a counselor, taking the child to school and following up until we finish high school. And also we need to check, look at the home environment. This child comes from a place where they are actually literally stealing to sustain their family. So all those factors check language level. It's actually discretionary. It's therefore the magistrate to say, I want level 1, I want level 2, I want level 3. That is where discretion comes in.
My only understanding was I thought you guys did away with the violence. Remember what happened? So all along I think
They did have two robbery, but I asked for stealing. If I'm not even interfere with the charges, this one I interfered, I said being like for purposes of, because we are going to end the whole thing that we did not divert. Then we will lose the purpose of the diversion. So I say I requested the open court and I said please for purposes, let me interfere with your mandate. For purposes of just this one, just give us stealing. So that we continue because we're going to get stuck. Are you seeing now the importance of what you speak? If all the people says we are not diverting, there's no where you will go. Because they will appeal my decision. Then we are all stuck. And by then they have a right of appeal on PI, according to the rules. We have a right of appeal. They can just say, we are not participating, we are not and you're down your foot. What's the next name? Yes, yes, so they have a right of appeal.
Okay, thank you very much. Can we give ourselves a round of applause? Is that enough for all what we've done? Let's give ourselves a better one. Another one now for the participants of the session. Thank you very much, and I hand it over to Effie.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to the team from the steering committee. That was an amazing practical simulation, and at least now we have a feel of what happens, and we can see some of the deadlock areas, right? So if we come back, those are things that we need to tackle, and those are conversations that will keep going. I understand there are some questions that we're also getting from, we just got some messages from our team who are watching online, so we'll be able to channel that in the afternoon because it's important we also answer them. All right, so at this point, I do not want to take so much time. It's already lunchtime, and today I want to call for personal discipline. Can we get here by 2 p.m.? Is that possible? And then I'll release you by 3:59. Okay? Thank you so much. Let's head out for lunch. We'll pick our meal cards as usual outside as we head down. Now when I release you, 3:59. Yes, there's a security guard.